Hey, this is Brooke, functional medicine dietitian specializing in fertility, and this is the Fertility Dietitian podcast, where I help you uncover the barriers that are preventing you from optimizing your fertility and teach you how to work with your body to finally take home a healthy baby. Each week, I will be diving into different topics on fertility and sharing my perspective on physiology, metabolic health, nutrition, and lifestyle approaches that have helped hundreds of couples get pregnant even after years of heartache. My goal is to empower you with the knowledge you need to take back control of your fertility. Happy listening. Hey friends, and welcome back to the Fertility Dietitian podcast. If you've been hanging around here for a while, you know that we talk a lot about gut health and hormones and blood sugar and inflammation and nutrient status, just all the things that influence fertility. Today, we're going to back things up literally to the mouth because there's something that surprises a lot of couples. You can actually not fully optimize fertility without paying attention to oral health. I've been talking about this topic in relation to fertility for many years now, and it just deserves a place on the podcast. So what's happening in your mouth does not stay in your mouth. It directly influences systemic inflammation, our immune function, our hormone signaling, our sperm quality for men, implantation and pregnancy outcomes for women, and even miscarriage risk. And yes, this matters for both female and male fertility. Okay. So that's often surprising. When we think about oral health, we might be thinking about like the bacteria in our mouth and how it impacts overall microbiome or bacteria balance in our body, which is very true. It definitely trickles all the way down to sperm health, as well as impacting that whole uterine environment and even egg quality too. So today we're going to talk about how oral health connects to fertility in more detail. We're going to talk about gum disease and oral bacteria and what they're actually doing in the body and when they are present. And we're going to talk about why this matters for conception and pregnancy outcomes. So time to conception, as well as the health of the baby and the health of the pregnancy, is all impacted. And we also have to talk about signs that your oral health may need support, and then discuss very practical, fertility-friendly oral hygiene and nutrition tips that are going to help keep your oral hygiene tip-top shape for fertility. So we often think of oral health as separate from the rest of the body, but biologically it's not. Your mouth contains a massive population of bacteria, highly vascular tissue in our gums, and direct access to our bloodstream. So really quickly, things like bacteria can get right into our bloodstream and impact our whole body systemically. This means that bacteria from the mouth really enter that circulation very easily, especially when the gums are inflamed or bleeding. And once those bacteria do enter the bloodstream, they can trigger that systemic inflammation, activate your immune response, disrupt hormone signaling, and impact distant tissues, including your reproductive tissues. Okay, this is why poor oral health has been associated with longer time to conception, decreased sperm quality, increased miscarriage risk, and pregnancy complications like preterm birth and preeclampsia. We see this most clearly with gingivitis or periodontitis, which are chronic inflammatory conditions driven by bacterial imbalance in the mouth. Just like the gut, the mouth has its own microbiome, a balance of beneficial and pathogenic bacteria. And when that balance shifts towards more harmful bacteria, the immune system stays activated. Inflammatory cytokines increase. The body diverts resources toward defense instead of reproduction. And this matters because fertility thrives in a low inflammation, well-regulated immune environment. Research shows that oral pathogens have been found in the placenta, in amniotic fluid, and in the uterine environment. And these bacteria can interfere with embryo development, implantation, placental formation. And this is one of the reasons oral health is now considered part of preconception care, not just part of dental care. So let's talk about the guys for a second, because this is not just a female issue. Chronic oral inflammation has been associated with lower sperm count, reduced motility, increased oxidative stress, which just means reduced sperm quality as a whole, and higher DNA fragmentation in the sperm. So more DNA damage, which is absolutely going to contribute to longer time to conception and impact the health of that pregnancy, as well as the lifelong health of the future tiny human. Inflammation and oxidative stress are two of the biggest drivers of poor sperm quality. And remember, sperm are produced continuously, meaning current inflammation matters. If you're working on male fertility but skipping oral health, it's a big missing piece. Okay. So even though we talk about our preconception care period as being about 3 months for both good quality sperm and good quality eggs, our inflammation levels impact sperm continuously. So it's not just what you've been doing over the last 3 months. If you develop gum disease or some sort of concern with your oral hygiene, it's going to impact the current sperm that are being stored, as well as those that are working on being produced for future conception. So it's important at all times. Some signs that are obvious that dental health is off, but other signs can be really subtle. So we want to pay attention to these red flags. Bleeding gums, even a little bit, okay? So if you go without flossing for even a couple of weeks and then you're starting to floss again and you see bleeding gums, that is a sign of inflammation. That is a sign that there's a bacterial imbalance going on, leading to more systemic inflammation. Bad breath that doesn't go away with brushing is a definite red flag. Gum tenderness or recession, frequent cavities, mouth dryness, a metallic taste in your mouth are all red flags, okay? So bleeding gums are not normal. They might be common, but we all know that common and normal are not the same thing. It is a sign of inflammation, and inflammation anywhere affects fertility everywhere, especially when we're talking about the mouth, okay? So let's get practical. These are non-negotiable for preconception care. To take care of our oral hygiene is to take care of our gut health as well as our entire reproductive system. We want to be brushing twice a day, in the morning and before bedtime. So ideally, we're actually brushing before we're eating or drinking in the morning, okay? We don't want to be like brushing after anything acidic that's harmful for our enamel and the health of our teeth. And even eating like certain acidic foods and brushing right after that is also going to be harmful for the enamel as well. Okay. And then before bed, because we don't want the food and everything sitting on our teeth and creating that plaque buildup, which can create damage to the teeth and the gums and just the whole bacterial environment as a whole. So don't skip nighttime brushing either. This is when the bacteria really love to thrive. Make sure you're flossing every day too. Brushing alone does not remove the bacteria between the teeth, and flossing actually is what reduces the gum inflammation and bacterial load significantly. Tongue scraping is really helpful too. The tongue holds a huge amount of bacteria, and a few gentle passes daily can reduce bad breath and microbial burden or imbalance. Consider mouth taping at night also. So if you are breathing through your mouth, it's going to dry out your oral environment and promote bacterial imbalance. Nasal breathing supports saliva flow, as well as just oxygenating our cells, which is so helpful for so many other reasons. But nasal breathing is protective of your oral hygiene as well. And if this is new to you, start gently and always prioritize comfort and safety. Breathing through our nose is definitely favorable for sleep quality as well. We also want to make sure that we're choosing a fertility-friendly toothpaste. So I recommend avoiding fluoride and choosing a toothpaste with hydroxyapatite, which supports enamel health without disruption of the oral microbiome. Risewell is a really great one. Boca is another really great one. As always, work with your dentist to choose the best oral hygiene routine for you. And make sure you are getting those regular checkups with your dentist so they can screen for anything bigger that can't be knocked out with a good at-home oral hygiene routine. Water picks can be another option to chat with your dentist about too, but keeping that oral hygiene top of mind is going to be really supportive of fertility for both you and your husband. All right, so oral health is not just about oral hygiene. It's also about nutrition. Your gums, your teeth, your oral tissues rely heavily on minerals and fat-soluble vitamins as well. Key nutrients for oral and reproductive health include calcium and phosphorus, magnesium and vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin K2, and zinc. Low mineral status can actually impair the enamel strength and the gum integrity. Our immune defense in the mouth can be impacted negatively as well by nutrient deficiencies. And this is one reason that we see oral issues alongside poor digestion and mineral depletion, blood sugar dysregulation, and chronic stress also. A nutrient-dense fertility supportive diet supports both oral and reproductive tissues at the same time. So nutrition still matters. And if you're trying to conceive, this is your reminder to stay consistent with your dental cleanings, address gum disease before pregnancy whenever possible. Make sure you're communicating with your dentist about your fertility goals also. And know that pregnancy itself increases susceptibility to gum inflammation due to hormonal shifts. So going into pregnancy with healthy oral foundation really does matter. Here's a big takeaway. Oral health is fertility health. Your mouth is not separate from your gut. Your immune system doesn't compartmentalize inflammation, and your reproductive system is deeply influenced by what's happening upstream. So if you've been doing all the things for fertility but skipping or skimping on oral health, this may be a missing link. You can start small. Start with the brushing, flossing, scraping, nourish your body with the minerals, support nasal breathing at night, and don't ignore bleeding gums. If it's not going away with regular oral hygiene routine, like your flossing and your brushing and your tongue scraping, see your dentist. Again, add an additional appointment in there. And as always, fertility isn't about perfection. It's about creating a safer, more supportive environment for conception and pregnancy. If this episode was helpful, share it with your partner or your trying to conceive bestie, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Fertility Dietitian podcast. If you enjoyed it, please leave a review to let me know what topics you want more of or less of. If you want to keep learning, subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out my website for more info on my private coaching program, Master Your Fertility, or my membership community, Fertility Blueprint. And don't forget my digital store. Come say hi on YouTube and Instagram. See you in the next episode.